Hello everyone, how are all of you doing? I'm sure all of you are doing very good so far. Well, today is supposedly the last day of lockdown, but I don't know how we have to do things tomorrow. And it looks like we have to live with the coronavirus, and that is what the World Health Organization is telling us. So my message to you, to all of you out there, is to tell you that listen, hear, read what the World Health Organization, what the government is telling you, and follow those rules, follow what they're saying, follow those instructions, because now we have to live with the virus. Let's face it. Okay friends, today is Sunday and I'm back with you. I'm very happy when it's Sunday because I love taking this little walk with you through my garden. And it's springtime and there are a lot of flowers blooming, and I must show you that my bougainvillea is doing very well for itself. This is my bougainvillea. You have to see this. My bougainvillea. It's doing very good. And then I have another flower which I love. It's a beautiful color. Can you see that? This in Assamese is called rangol. I don't know what the English term for this flower is, but yeah, this whole place is actually, it's filled with a lot of flowers. My mangoes are also coming up, and there are a lot of flowers and foliage which is around. Anyway, so my question to all of you today is one thing: who are you competing against? Who are you competing with? What is the competition all about? Are you competing with your best friend? Are you competing with your neighbor? Are you competing with an XYZ, an ABC, or someone you don't know, or maybe an icon or somebody? That is absolutely not necessary. Who are you competing with? Now let me tell you something. You know what? My mother, when I was a little girl, my mother used to tell me, please compete with the best girl in class. And I never really liked that thought, because I don't want to compete with the best girl in class. I wanted to compete with myself. Now let me tell you, I'm a very obedient child. I still am, and I always was an obedient child. But I didn't like this thing about competing with anyone else but myself. I still do. I still have a competition with myself and nobody else. Absolutely nobody else. Now you have to listen to this. When on 21st of November, when I had my accident, after that I was in coma stage. When I went to the doctor told me that I was supposed to be in rest for a year and not do any exercise, probably just sleep, because it was a head injury. But I just couldn't take it. I said no. I needed to do the things I love. And the one thing I love to do was to run, to walk, and to do my exercise. So I started taking baby steps, small steps, one at a time. So what did I do? I started walking on flat ground first. I started walking on the steps. Now, when I'm locked down with my father here, in his house, there's a beautiful stretch here where I do my running. And after I've come here, I realized I can do 3 kilometers at a stretch. That's an achievement for me, because I'm having a competition with myself and nobody else. I'm not competing with a runner, I'm not competing with a sports person, but I'm competing only with myself, because that is very important for me. I am doing small achievements, I'm setting small goals for myself, and I'm achieving those goals. That is what you must do. You mustn't compete with somebody else whose goals are different, whose line of work is different, whose entire system, that the road that the person is taking is entirely different from yours. Why would you be competing with somebody you don't know, somebody whose goals and dreams are totally different from yours? Yours are different. You are special. Come on, have the competition with yourself. Okay, I must tell you the second thing that happened in my life. this story that I told you a while ago is very recent. But when I first came from Shillong to Guwahati, I remember I wanted to go to All India Radio to give an audition there in Assamese, because all my life I grew up listening to All India Radio, and I listened to all this drama, those plays that were broadcast on radio every Sunday, and I wanted to be a part of those plays and those that drama section. So I went. They gave me a script for the audition. And my goodness, I must tell you that the script was the scariest script I ever had in my life, because I'd never read those words, never even wrote those words in my life ever. And when I was reading them, halfway through, the judges who were sitting inside stopped me and said, "Teenat Atifa Masood, you need to learn your Assamese properly and come back for the audition again." I was definitely embarrassed, because my mother took a lot of effort to teach me Assamese throughout my life from class 2 to class 10, and she put in all her sweat and blood to teach me Assamese, and here I was being reprimanded for speaking terrible Assamese. I was definitely embarrassed. A very, very dear brother of mine, Okhim Kaji, he said one thing when I came out of the audition room. He said, "I told you shouldn't be speaking in Assamese at all. You are a person from the English medium school, so you should just concentrate on that." I told him just one thing. I said, "Dada, you know what? I am not taking this as a failure. I am taking this as a stepping stone to the next level. I promise you that my Assamese is going to improve so much that I'm going to invite all of you from All India Radio to come and watch a play at Rabindra Bhavan." I said it. I didn't know how I was going to achieve it, but I said it. And believe me you, after that, I did a lot of plays in Assamese from with Gyasuddin Ahmed and with many other renowned directors. I did a lot of plays in Assamese. I was scared. I was jittery. I was I was literally in tenterhooks when I went on stage, thinking that I would lose out on my dialogues, but I did not. I did a fantastic job. You know how? Because when I told them that I will improve on my Assamese, I went all out to do that. I listened to the radio, I listened to the television, I asked my mother the meanings of certain words, I read the Assamese newspaper, and I just got down to learning the language perfectly. So it really helped me. When I started anchoring in English, there were people who said that you would really do great if you would start anchoring in Assamese as well. And I said, you better not give me in Assamese, because I would make a terrible show of the whole thing. I would probably not be able to, hold the stage together. But because of my practice, because of the competition I had with myself of achieving better than yesterday, what happened was that I started improving on my Assamese skills. And I started anchoring in Assamese, and the anchoring in Assamese became so perfect that I could do it without a script. So that is what I wanted to tell all of you, that take those baby steps one at a time, compete with yourself and realize your goals. Do not compete with someone you don't know. Do not compete with someone or something which is absolutely not necessary. Compete with yourself. That's the most beautiful thing you can do. Well, I would like to end today by telling you that because of my competition with myself to learn Assamese properly, I have been able to write 15 Assamese poems, and these have been pretty good. Now, one of my mom's friends, who is a poet, Meera Aunty, she has really loved my poem, poems, all of them, and hopefully bless me that I can actually go ahead and publish this poetry book someday, this Assamese poetry book, very soon. So I will leave you with that thought, with that beautiful thought of competing with yourself, and don't forget to keep saying that you're the best. And with that thought, I want to say that I love all of you very much. Stay happy, stay safe, wash your hands, wear those masks all the time, and follow what the government is saying. See you for now. Have a nice day and have a wonderful evening ahead.